Howdy everybody, thanks for tuning into the MoveOTX channel today. Today's adventure, we start off here at the trailhead of Mormon Island Trailhead. I am in the small city of Folsom, California. And there's actually a small little historic town not too far from here, the town of Folsom. And we're going to do some hikes out along the edge of the lake. Okay, so we're at the, again, Mormon Island Trailhead. And that's actually the dam built up around the lake, right on the other side here. So you have to self-register for parking. It's $5 for day use per vehicle. And we're headed up that way. So I don't have any trail maps for today. I know, sin of all sins, shame on me, but I've got my trail GPS and I'm hiking a pretty well-known path along the edge of the lake today. So not expecting anything exciting to happen in that regard, but that's where we're headed and off we go. I actually read some comments online and people complaining about the day use parking fee. I mean, come on, $5? $5 where I'm from in the Bay Area, $5, that won't even buy you a lunchtime hour or two of parking. So it's money well spent, in other words. Beautiful. Amazing. So, getting a pretty early start here right now. So, it's about 10:30. 10:30 is early for me, so. But, if you come out here, make sure you gear for hot, dry weather. It gets well into the hundreds here in Folsom in the summer months, late summer months particularly, but they get these heat waves that are 2, 3, 4 weeks, 100+ degree temperatures. So extremely lucky today. It's barely 75 degrees. This is Bay Area weather, and it does not get any cooler than that here, at least during the summer. So we're just going to do this trek up here along the lake, and we'll keep going. Really dry, rolling hills throughout, I'm sure. Not going to see any fern. There might be some poison oak up here, but not a whole lot, I don't believe. So the most dangerous thing out here is probably going to be ticks that are probably clinging to some of these weeds and things, so keep an eye out for that as I go along. So Folsom is a mid-sized little town, central California. So one thing about California and California, I guess, cultures and that kind of thing, you have beach coastal communities, Santa Barbara, Santa Cruz, of course, Long Beach, parts of San Francisco, and you have coastal cities, of course, Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego. But once you go inland into the Central Valley, you get these towns and cities like Folsom and Bakersfield and Elk Grove. Small little towns like that, of course the capital Sacramento, but Folsom is about 35 minutes northeast of Sacramento along Highway 50 towards South Shore Lake Tahoe. So they get a lot of ski traffic and Lake Tahoe traffic coming through. Saw some people fishing back there. Not sure what they were fishing for exactly. black bass, catfish maybe. A lot of little kids out playing. Water actually seems fairly visible. It's not that murky, cloudy, silty kind of stuff. Now, I'm sure it might be once you get in there and stir it up. But so this trail is called Brown's Ravine Trail. And we're headed in a northwesternly direction that way. And it seems to go all along the shoreline, along the edge of the lake. Hi there. Hi. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks.
All right.
Continuing on. Still feeling great. All smiles. Keep going. We're going to take this for, I don't know, at least a few miles until I get tired, whenever that may be. So I apologize in advance for the wind. Once again, the wind is probably wreaking havoc on my camera mic. It's really not windy at all today. Maybe a slight breeze here and there. But I imagine certain times a year this trail can be pretty windy with a brisk breeze picking up pace from along the water. Kind of a nice mix of oak forest and pine tree forest. Not seeing any tall redwoods, but pretty good sized pine trees along the way. Nice. So one thing I'm noticing on this trail, a couple mountain bikers, and I'm seeing quite a bit of mountain bike tracks along the way, but I don't see any speed limit signs posted or anything like that. So keep on the lookout for that. And as you can tell, it's a pretty narrow single track here. Horses use these trails too, from what I can tell. Wonder what's worse, getting run over by a spooked horse or a mountain biker. Neither, equally as bad. Either would be an equally bad day here on the MoveOTX channel. So one thing I'm not seeing signs of are mountain lions, bobcat. Usually where I'm familiar, the trails I'm familiar with, by now I would have seen mountain lion and bobcat poop up and down the trail here. So, well, doesn't mean there aren't any out here. It just means wherever they're choosing to poop, wherever they're dropping anchor, just isn't along the trail. That's all it means. Wow. There's a family back that way with some kids and stuff. I'm trying to distance myself from them. I love kids, but I don't want them or their audio to interfere with what I've got going on here. Fortunately, they're not doing a terribly fast pace. So I've seen two unmarked trails going off kind of towards the east. So that way is our east line. So a couple trails going off that way, but we're going to go this way in a northwesterly, direction. Oh, whoa. Wow, wonder what this was. Yikes. Okay, let me go back this way. Someone's basement, maybe? That's interesting. Nonetheless, we'll go this way. There's another one. So that little brick or stone basement structure turned out to be way off trail. Kind of wandered around there for a little bit. But we're back on course now. Kind of got wary of the area when I saw the mountain bike tracks disappear. So it looks like we're coming up on some serious civilization up here. We've got some boat launch areas. See some water ski boats out there, a lot of jet ski activity, watercraft. So we'll keep going. Hi. Okay, one thing I'm noticing right away here in the town of Folsom, every single person that I've seen on the trail has said hello and greeted me with a smile. Every single person. The trail runners, the little families out on the stroll, the day hikers alike. The mountain bikers haven't, but understandably they're probably paying attention to other faster paced things in their world. So I don't know what that says about Folsom, but it's my observation here out on the trails. So this is a great hike. If you have beginner hikers, beginning scouts. Oops, another cyclist coming through. Hi. Got little kids. Maybe introduce them to the hobby of backpacking and day hiking. This is an awesome, awesome trail for that. Number one, it's totally flat. I don't think I've climbed at all. And there's a lot to see. You kind of dip into and out of oak forest and tree forest canopy. And it's really shaded too. I mean, this trail can get blazing hot, like I said earlier, in the late summer months, or midsummer months actually, if they get a heat wave. But you're always in the shade, which is really nice. And you're also not too far from water. You're never too far from water. If you want, just go dunk your head, dip your shirt in the water, and put on a wet t-shirt. Or like me, soak your do-rag. And that's my instant air conditioning, actually. I'll take my dry release shirt off, go soak it in the water, take my do-rag off, soak it as well. And it's like walking around with my own little air conditioning. And the hotter it is, the more that water evaporates, and the cooler sensation I feel. But not today. Today it's not even hot. It's maybe 75 degrees out here. Mile marker 5. And no, I haven't actually gone 5 miles. I've gone maybe 2 at most. But nonetheless, they do have some trail markings along the way. So that right there is a blackberry bush. And you can actually tell people have been walking up to it, probably to harvest the blackberries. But blackberry bushes tend to spot the perimeter of Folsom Lake and parts of the American River as well. We one time rented sea kayaks, and not here, but along the American River. And when the river swells up, you can actually sea kayak out to water accessible areas and actually pick the blackberries. Looks like there's some more bushes along there. So that's what that is. No, I don't know much about edible foliage, but I know when I see blackberries and a lot of bumblebees and some thorns on it, I know what that is. So they wouldn't be ripe this time of year anyways, so I don't believe. Sea kayaking enthusiasts, wow, that looks like fun. That's awesome. Just launching right off the shoreline. Nice. Not sure if you guys can see it, but some wild turkeys right down there. That's been my first signs of wildlife. So it looks like we're coming up onto a paved road segment. And we'll keep going. See what this trail marker sign says. No motor vehicles. Okay, well, we're compliant to that for sure. So it looks like that's the official marker sign. Some trail information. And this looks like the boating area. Nice. So we're finally coming out and around from that boat launch area. Still feeling good, still all smiles. So this is largely horseback and hiking only. I'm still seeing some mountain bike trails, but not a whole lot. So it looks like first part of my hike was allowable for mountain biking, but the second part here doesn't appear to be so. One thing's for sure, this part of the trail, past that boat launch area, has a lot less foot traffic. Of course, it's 12 noon, so a little bit later in the day, and I'm still seeing footprints up and down these trails, but I'm not encountering people at all. Still a really level grade, easy hike. Some areas like this, not super technical, but maybe a little bit. So every now and then I have little creek crossings and signs of running water. So I want to give you guys a glimpse of this. And this is one of the reasons why I hike with trekking poles. Okay, so this foliage and branches and things like this prime for ticks. Okay, so one of the things I do is I use my trekking poles to sweep them aside and out of the way as I make my way through. And of course it's not perfect, but I think every little bit helps. And this is the other reason why I hike with trekking poles. You can use them to cross creeks much more easily. That one wasn't bad, of course. So we'll keep going. Still feeling good, all smiles. Camera's a bit dirty. There we go. Getting kind of hungry. I'm going to pull over here and grab myself some power bars and get my blood sugar level back up a bit. One thing's for sure, this deep rutted trail, definitely signs of horseback. Human foot traffic doesn't do this to this extent, typically. So it looks like we're coming up on another mile marker. Mile 7.5. Wow, what a hike, huh guys? So I think I'm going to kick back here, grab myself some power bars and some granola bars, and we made it to mile marker 7.5 back that ways a bit. And I'm just going to enjoy this moment here, kick back, refuel, and we'll fuel up here, rehydrate a bit, and we'll continue. So we're just a little bit past mile marker 7.5, and I stumbled on this little kind of a beach thing, not a beach, but a little clearing here. Just had my power bars and my granola bars, and just what an amazing view. Feeling great. Still feeling good, still smiles. I could easily go on for another couple miles, and I think I will actually. I'm just going to sit here and just enjoy this. Look at where we are, guys. These rocks have the most interesting teal blue color. Never seen that before. Wonder what that is. Same color as the water, actually. It's pretty windy out there today. I don't think I'd want to be sea kayaking out there. Hopefully the wind isn't totally blowing out my camera microphone audio. What a beautiful place. And it looks like we got another mile marker. What is this one? Nope. No mile marking noticed. Alrighty. Keep going. Wow. I gotta say, guys, this has got to be a dirty camera lens. This has got to be one of the most fun trails I've ever hiked. Oops, there's someone coming through on a bike. Howdy. How's it going? Good, how are you? Doing all right. I'm taking a rest. Why don't you go ahead? Day, huh? I know, awesome. Isn't it usually like 110 degrees out here? It can be, right? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So anyways, this has got to be one of the most awesome trails I've ever hiked, guys. Everything is single track the whole way. I mean, some of it's rutted and some of it's technical, but not really. Just technical enough to be interesting. A lot of it's oak forest, but there's still some pine tree, evergreen forest cover as well. So it just keeps everything very interesting. So absolutely, two thumbs up for me. Gonna have to remember this for next time, and I'll have to come back here again. So I mentioned earlier mile marker 7.5 was back that way, and I was going to turn around, but no. Why? I feel great. It's only 12 o'clock. Plenty of daylight. I have nothing going on. My legs feel great. My lungs feel great. Plenty of water. And like I said earlier, it's not hot at all. So we're just going to keep going. Another trail marker. No mile marker though. And once again, we're approaching someone's property line, it looks like. So be careful not to film there. Could be sensitive about that. I'm sure they wouldn't appreciate that. But just look at this beautiful trail, guys. It's almost like a tunnel through the tree canopy. And here's some promising signs, some redwood saplings coming up. Always a good sign to have that here in California. Sounds of roaring boat engines off in the background. Seeing a lot of boats, but I'm not seeing a lot of people water skiing behind them. Interesting. So here we are at mile marker 8. So mile marker 8.5 was behind us a bit. And looks like we're coming up onto some houses here. And some roadway up here, or someone's yard it looks like. Yeah, we're coming up on the back side of someone's property here, which I don't want to intrude on. Oh no, it's a roadway. How about that? Okay, so we are at, I believe this is Planeta Way. So we'll use this along with mile marker 8.5 as our turnaround point. So we are at mile marker 8.5. Planeta Way is just up that way. You can see the roof line on a couple houses from here actually. So we're going to use this point here as our turnaround point. This trail goes on for dozens and dozens of miles, all the way, an entire loop, it seems like, almost all the way around the lake. So we're going to bookmark mile marker 8.5 and Planeta Way up there. And we're going to turn back here. It's 5 miles back to where I parked at the trailhead. So still got plenty of miles left to do here today. And still smiles. Legs are feeling great. Adidas trail trackers are awesome. Trail runners, I should say, are awesome. Super comfy. Can easily do a few more miles. Coming up on another creek crossing here. And once again, the reason I trek with trekking poles. Very easily navigate through things like that without douching out my feet and my Adidas trail runners. So we're almost back at the trailhead area, guys, back by the dam. But just wanted to get a couple shots of this just beautiful imagery right here. I've been hiking through this all day, guys. Never ever gets old. Never. This has been one hell of a day hike. Probably the nicest day hike I've done in a long time. Just beautiful trail. All entirely single track. Not a whole lot of people out on the trails either today, so I guess the one drawback is it does get hot in the summer months here, but today, nope, not at all. Amazing, huh? Saw some deer up there, some wild turkeys, a few hawks circling up overhead. Pretty awesome. Water level's pretty high this year, so that's a great thing for California. You can see where the old water line usually is, or used to be at one point. So still, during drought seasons, this thing is totally empty. Or not totally empty, but very empty, put it that way. Not too bad today. Always something new out here. So I had to crawl through that. So this branch fell just within the past 2 or 3 hours. It was not like that when I came out here. So I just helped a young lady through there. Gosh. A lesson for us all. I could have brought my Leatherman Blast. It has a really, really nice wood saw. A really nice, maybe a 3-inch or a 4-inch wood saw. And that would have really come in handy to just at least bust off some of the smaller ones and burrow through there. But wow, look at that. Okay, so there's some poison oak in there too. I'm a little concerned about that. Okay, so I tried not to get entangled up in through there with it, but you never know, right? That's why I come out on these trails. Every time I'm out on a trail, there's something different. Literally within the hour, things can change in very mild conditions that aren't dramatic at all. I mean, look at this. This is about as mild as it gets out here. So, today's objective lesson. Pack a wood saw. Not a big one. Doesn't have to be anything like a Baco Laplander or anything that robust, but just something to clear away branches and things like that if you ever encounter a scenario like I just did. So, for me, that is a Leatherman Blast. They've discontinued it, I believe, but it's the light duty multi-tool. The plastic with the plastic liner within the stainless steel handles. I love that thing. Carry it everywhere except today. So what the hell, you know, you learn, live and learn, right? So, and we're coming back to our starting point right at the dam. and I'll take you guys out across that for a little bit. Thanks for joining me today, guys, here on Folsom Lake and Browns Ravine Trail, where we did the little southeastern leg for about 6 miles out and 6 miles back. So I'd love to return and do more of this trail at a later date. So till then, everybody stay safe out there, enjoy the outdoors, and I will catch you later.